Welcome gnomes, parents and students. It's Mr. H here on a Monday, kind of rainy Monday morning. Sorry about Friday, had a parent conference and so couldn't quite get the video done for last week, but I did want to come to you this early Monday morning and talk to you a little bit about what we did last week, what we need to get done for this week. This week is going to be a crazy one. First, wanted to stop and tell you why in the world C-3PO is always in the video. It is not because I'm infatuated with Star Wars, although I a little bit am. Mainly I use him, he and I are about the same height, I use him to figure out how far away the video camera should be. So he's always in the video. So last week we talked a little bit about latitude and longitude and continents and oceans, and what I found with some of our in-class projects were that latitude and longitude is still confusing a lot of students. So I'm going to put a link under the video here to a couple of practice things that maybe you can do at home. Talk to your students about latitude and longitude, how they get it, how they find it, and practice with some of these online tools that you might have, that you might see on the video. And a couple of important things that are happening this week. So the first important thing that is happening this week is on Wednesday. On Wednesday of this week, we will be doing a Tall Dogs quiz. That Tall Dogs quiz deals with maps and map skills. So there are two things that students have to be able to do on the Tall Dogs quiz. One, they have to be to identify each element of Tall Dogs. They have to know that the T stands for title, the A stands for author, legend, date, orientation, grid, scale. That's step one. Step two is be able to use those things on a map. So I might say to the students, I need you to find the T element and circle it on the map. They would need to know T equals title and go to the map that's on the quiz and circle the title. I might say put a star above the D element. They might need to know then that D stands for date, go find it on the map, put a little star above it. So those are the things you have to do. Some of them are using the tool like scale or grid, which is latitude and longitude. Others are just finding it like north arrow, that type of thing. So Wednesday, we will have a quiz. Then on Friday, the early release, we're going to do another quiz. I know that sounds like a lot, but we're going to try it. And the quiz that we're going to do on the early release on Friday is a much simpler, much shorter quiz, and basically it's continents and oceans. Students need to be able to identify Asia, Australia, Africa, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, North America, South America. Basic. I will give them the actual places. They just have to put them in the right place on the map. So something else to be practicing this week. We'll do it here at school, but at home as well, continents and oceans practice. Now, speaking of oceans, we do have one assignment that is due tomorrow. It is this activity on oceans. We started this in class on Friday, really basic. Didn't get a lot done on Friday. We worked on it today in class a little bit, and students are bringing it home tonight. The assignment should have 6 countries that touch no oceans, landlocked countries like Bolivia and Paraguay. 6 two-ocean countries, countries that touch 2 oceans, places like Australia that touches the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean, South Africa which touches the Indian and the Atlantic. 6 of each. They also need the 3 countries that touch 3 oceans, Canada, United States of America, Russia, all touch 3. Then down at the bottom they're going to write some short sentences talking about the advantages of having a coast and the disadvantages or challenges to being landlocked. We talked about how we want these in sentence forms. We want to be elaborating on why those advantages are there, or why those challenges are there, filling up that space with some interesting things about advantages and disadvantages to coastal areas. So that assignment is due tomorrow. Last thing I'll talk about is what else we're doing today. We started it today. We're talking about the 5 themes of geography. We went through the first theme today, location, absolute location, like latitude and longitude, and relative location, explaining where things are in comparison to something else, like I live near the airport in North Raleigh. And then tomorrow we'll get into place and human environment interaction, movement, and region. I'll put these notes, which we're taking in class, on the computer so you'll be able to see them and talk to your students about them. So, long video, but hopefully that fills you in on what's going on. Just a quick recap. Wednesday, Tall Dogs quiz. Friday, continents and oceans. Tonight, make sure they have that activity sheet about the oceans finished. And if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Thanks very much.